Anglo American is next. Remember, this is really a mining conglomerate founded in the early part of the 20th century by Sir Ernest Oppenheimer. It has refined its portfolio a lot over recent years, and it is now focused on platinum, which is the more shallow deposits, having offloaded some of the deep stuff. Diamonds, because they basically own pretty much all of DeBeers, and that's why we're talking about them here, but they still have a presence, a significant one, in copper and iron ore and some coal assets. Market capitalization, 179.2 billion rand. So not the giant that it used to be, but definitely not a pea shooter either. PE ratio, 37.54. I don't even know how we got that number because the earnings have been all over the show. Lots of write-ups, write-down. I'm not saying it's not right, but there you go. And a dividend distribution on historic payouts of 3.25%. Let's start with a share chart, because the 5-year chart will reveal a rather nasty picture, although a little bit of a recovery since. And I think the diamonds have been a fairly hot spot or a fairly good part of the current or most recent trading, right?
It's helped it. The diamond price has arguably been less volatile than other commodities that they own. The diamond market, though, had a very tough second half of last year. There was a lot of distress selling coming into the market. It put pressure on the prices, but they've managed to weather that. You saw DeBeers pull a lot of supply out of the market, more probably around 15%, which was big for them.
How do they do that? Do they basically buy it back from the diamantaires, or do special
they
deals?
cut production.
Cut production and or limit the amount of stones available in those sites, which they now have up in Gaborone.
And that demand supply dynamic now looks to have stabilized somewhat. So I mean they're dominant in the space. DeBeers contributes 40% plus to the group EBITDA, profit after tax. So there's it really is the jewel in the crown, to use a poor analogy. And it knows what it does. They've also been very good at branding their diamonds. So, you know, when you buy De Beers diamond, it's certified that it's ethnically sourced. It's got a little microscopic barcode on it. So it creates this allure that a De Beers diamond is superior maybe to the other stock.
And to be fair, we know that diamonds have the position that they have in the mind of the jewelry buyer thanks to De Beers' many generations and prior decades of marketing. You know, they invented all that stuff about diamonds being the girl's best friend, and you know, diamond is forever and all that stuff, and popularized the idea that you have to have a diamond on your engagement ring.
Yeah, and heaven forbid if you're the man who goes against that tradition.
Don't come with your cheapskate. You want a proper diamond, a nice big one.
Yeah, the engagement ring and the wedding ring. So
Lord,
they get you twice.
Know about that. Okay, but the problem is that Anglo American to some extent trades more by virtue of the sort of global mindset about commodity prices, in particular things like iron ore and oil and all that. There we've seen something of a rebound, hence the move in the share price. But is it sustainable?
Look, it's a huge rebound. You won't see it on that chart, but coming from 50 Rand a share to 160 Rand a share is massive. Fine, it lost 75% of its value on the way down. The consolidated group structure is looking good to me. So, you know, Mark Kudufani has really stripped it down to those 3 core areas you mentioned, diamonds being one of them, copper and platinum group metals. And I think that makes a lot of sense. They're oftentimes the lowest cost producer in those areas. And they're paying down debt. They're getting Minas Rio up to speed, hopefully, finally at below budget.
Assets, do you foresee them being offloaded at some point?
They will. That's the idea.
Although who knows who's going to buy them, though?
Well, they're waiting for it. So they're really trying to get it to a point where it is saleable. And I think you're going to see a very leaner, meaner type looking group in the very near future as they dispose of those.
And so?
Yeah, look, I think the bounce it's had is got a bit ahead of itself. I think it's a bit frothy at the current levels. That there is some value, but there is better value to be had. I'm going to wait.
And of course, if commodity prices as a general thing were to slump back again, and we've certainly seen iron ore looking a bit pup lately, then there could be risk to the downside.
Correct.
As well.
That pervasive sentiment of those bigger metals come down.
Okay, so we're going to go not hot on that.
Not hot for me.
Right.